kind of nonsense, this level of UBUPUBA, because I can't come up with a better word. When UBUPUBA muchalonga gwafula, kupela ichipuwe fisu makona ula. When you get a fool and then you give something valuable to a fool, what is happening in Zambia is the result. And we, the citizens of Zambia, must be held accountable. Because those foolish people, they didn't find themselves in government. These are things that I spoke about. There is no treatment for foolishness. As for madness, there is treatment. I'm telling you this. No, UBUPUBA, there is no treatment. Because there are people who appear like normal. And yet, the way they think, they are sick in the mind. FIPUBA, and there is no treatment. Mutunga chipuba today, was it yesterday, will be chipuba today, and will be chipuba forever. This is the biggest problem that our country is in. And that's why we've been consigned to perpetual misery, untold misery. This is the problem that we have. And then when you look at this talking about cost effectiveness, this is abuse of the language, wanting to abuse the citizens. And then the minister went ahead that we are calling on all Zambians to focus on prioritizing building the Zambia they want. Quite cheap. Prioritizing in building the Zambia that they want. Which Zambia? Zambia is under capture. Which Zambia is this government talking about? Which Zambia? What is happening in Zambia is annoying. It's not something that you can smile about. Many times people criticize, oh, why do you appear to be agitated? To be like furious. If you cannot be furious, if you cannot be angry with what is happening in Zambia, then you are Ichipuba number one. Because when you see UBUPUBA, when you see something, foolish, call it UBUPUBA, and then have the desire, the commitment to ensure that we change the status quo in our republic. Which Zambians are you calling for? Because firstly, the people of Zambia gave you the mandate. So when you are saying let them prioritize, how will Zambians prioritize? How will those marketeers whose markets are being leased to the Chinese and abetted, how will those marketeers be able to build the Zambia they want? You are giving land to the Chinese. How will Zambians be able to do projects? You are borrowing money without even showing how these funds are being utilized. How will Zambians build the Zambia they want? You are abrogating the laws of the land, Forest Reserve 27, and among many other places, thereby affecting or negatively affecting or impacting on the environment. How will Zambians build the Zambia that they want? You give preferential treatment when it comes to award of public contracts to the Chinese. How would Zambians be able to build the Zambia that they want? You give priority to people who are not citizens, because Zambia must come first. And we're not going to apologize about Zambia coming first. National interest first. Zambia first. Any plan which does not put Zambia first is useless and cannot be entertained at all. It should not be nest or nurtured. Anything which does not put the people of Zambia first must be kicked out of the land, because it doesn't serve your interests. And why are you entertaining it? And then he said there's a declaration. Time to act is now. Our resolve to do so must be firm. This is plain to the gallery. Clearly plain to the gallery. He said, now let's look at the indicators. Somebody is saying it's time for Zambians to build the Zambia they want is now. What does he say? Now look at the figures now. I'm talking about the budget, and I'm just dealing with top themes, because if I go into the details, I do not think that's actually necessary, and will be here for another many hours. So I'm just dealing with broad themes. He says inflation closed at 9.3% in August 2019, from 7.9% in December 2018. And then what's the reason? The Minister of Finance said the reason is that high food price is due to high food prices and the depreciation of the kwacha. So they are admitting. Now, you cannot attribute the rising inflation to high food prices, it did not tell us what is pushing the price of food upwards. This is the foolishness I'm talking about. What is pushing the price of food upwards? Those are things we must be dealing with. Number one, fuel is up, you increase, electricity will be increased, cost of doing business is increased. Now, who has the power to change this? The same people, the same foolish people, the same UBUPUBA, that their own late president told us that all my ministers, FIPUBA. And we have seen UBUPUBA number one, high grade UBUPUBA. This is UBUPUBA. Because the Minister of Finance must not be symptomatic. And it's not about how smartly you present a budget. And that's why, and sometimes, Zambia has become a country whereby what is abnormal becomes normal. The so-called analysts, functionally illiterate, when they're analyzing, no, he was very honest. No, he's very good. And the man was not political. UBUPUBA is not just about being political. And we are talking about collective UBUPUBA, collective way of doing things anyhow. Pante kind of way of doing government as long as the sun has risen.